Edgar Davids does not wear underwear. That is the sandwich equivalent of Mylene Klass in white bikini under a waterfall. And I said, now I'm trapped in between the bench and Van der Sar. And he goes, his ass was in your face. It was amazing. It was so funny. Such an honor, man.
Hi, Adam. How are you?
Such an honor.
Nice to meet you. You good?
I love this guy.
Such an honor.
It's cool. Me too.
C'est un grand honneur de vous rencontrer.
Ah, good French, hein?
J'espère, j'essayais. Moi, je parle français un petit peu.
Ah, d'accord.
J'apprends français, lycée, collège, tuteur privé. J'ai travaillé là.
I'm really impressed. So guys, I'm sorry, we're gonna do it in French.
The whole thing.
No, because Adam is talking a really good French, so...
J'aime cette jour. J'aime du football.
Oh, guys, that's perfect.
Now, one thing that I don't know if you're aware of, my birthday is May 16. You're 15,
Yeah, I'm
right?
15, of course, we are tourists.
That's right. That's what the bully, you get the horns.
Exactly.
I can't believe I'm sitting next to Patrice Evra. This makes no sense to me at all. Remember, if you eat 5-pound burritos, one day you could sit next to legendary footballers. Dare to dream.
No, but you know what, actually, Adam, it's a really pleasure to meet you as well, because I am a big fan of good food. First of all, I want to say, welcome to why I love this game.
I love that when you say I love this game, it's not just about football, that it's
exactly life.
Participating in life. Don't just be a spectator.
I think in life I'm really positive no matter what. Mm-hmm. Even when I was young and I used to beg some money in front of shop to buy a sandwich, I still love this game, and it's just a sentence I love to say, because when I was young and I couldn't speak a proper English, but I just love his sound, so I was shouting, I love this game. And after I start to make some video, but yeah, it's just a positive message, and I think you represent it very well, your intro. I really love it.
You have to. In America, we had a president named Abraham Lincoln, and he had a quote that my mother always reminds me of. We are as happy as we make up our minds to be.
So yeah, they told me you're a big fan of Arsenal.
I love this game. I hate this man. No, I will forget the fact where you ended your career. It's okay. I remember what club you went to. You were wearing Aston Villa colors, but it wasn't Aston Villa. No. Claret and Sky.
No, I'm joking. I know you're a big, massive fan of Tottenham.
I am because I have a problem digesting food, and I just really want all the pain in my stomach watching Tottenham go so close, and then everyone said, all the fatty food on Man vs. Food was going to kill me, but no, it's supporting Spurs.
Before I joined Manchester, and I love Tottenham, and I think you're right, it's just like a team, you feel they're going to win or they're going to achieve stuff, and at the end, you always end up disappointed. No, but to be fair, it was a strong team to play against.
Did you like playing against them?
Yeah, a lot of time, when it was Gareth Bale, Aaron Leonard, Van der Vaart. So it was the strong Tottenham. So I remember going to White Hart Lane, it was really difficult. So really? I always respect this team because it was a tough game, but also enjoying because they play football. It's not like the team that just set up in defense and they wait. No, they were trying also to beat us. So it was always a big match against Man United. So.
And the thing is, for me, having played for 5 glorious minutes on the pitch at Old Trafford.
I can't believe that. So you do soccer A's,
you
play, you lose 5 stone just for this game?
Yeah.
Wow.
I found the ball, though.
What's the feeling?
Well, I found all the stones. I found them all back. I found all but one. It was amazing. I have to tell you, I understand why they call it the Theater of Dreams. And first of all, for me, to be stepping onto the pitch and I look over my shoulder and there's Van der Sar and there's Jaap Stam on the same team as me. And then all of a sudden there's Davids and there's Seedorf and I'm playing up front with Andrei Shevchenko. And it made no sense. And then across the line, Carragher is marking me. I'm I'm just the food guy from TV.
So you post a naked picture.
Well, yeah, the naked picture. So I dieted for 2 years. God, I can't believe I'm talking to Patrice Evra about my Cosmo centerfold. So I dieted very hard for 2 years. Yeah. And then my friend Nicky Hollander coaches individual players. He's working with Sané now, with Sal Kalou, with Lukaku. And he was like, if you want to train like they do, I expect that level of commitment. So it was 2 90-minute sessions a day, 3-mile runs with the ball during the day, and I went vegan for 4 months. And I lost like a pound a day, pretty much every day training, and I played for Hollywood United. And then, yeah, I got tiny enough, and so Cosmo UK said, well, it's for charity. Don't worry, we'll put a football over your balls and it'll cover everything. And I just said, well, look, it took me long enough to get here. Let me at least get a time capsule on it. Because then literally the day after Soccer ended, I went to London and I had some chips. And the best moment I have to say though, is Edwin van der Sar explaining to me what a Jaffa cake is on the way to Old Trafford. And I says, I'll put my hand on a stack of Bibles. We're in the team coach. It's me, Van der Sar, sitting across from Clarence Seedorf and across the aisle from Jose Mourinho and Gordon Ramsay. And so they had little sandwiches and they had Jaffa cakes. And I had heard about them and I didn't know. And I was like, what's this? And Ed was like, it's like a little orange, like a cookie cream. It's like, it's like a cookie, little tiny orange.
You have to say that.
Cookie cake or cream. And Rio Ferdinand would take the children's package and he would run to the touchline and boop and bang all 3 of them down at the set piece.
No way.
There would be the set piece and he would go and he'd run off to the side and bang it down. Like, we played with like half the Dutch national team. Van der Sar's funniest moment though, so little fact, but Edgar Davids does not wear underwear. And we were in the training ground. Oh, it wasn't like we had gone out to eat and shit got freaky. We were in the training ground at Fulham where we trained for the match, and I'm pulling on my socks, and I'm kneeling like this over the bench, and I'm pulling my socks on, and Van der Sar is down in the corner, and Edgar Davids is talking to him with his back to me, and at the same moment I go down to pull my socks on, Edgar Davids bends over to take his pants off. So I look up and I see these 2 caramel hams coming at me like this. So I fell like this and now I'm trapped in between the bench and you just hear, oh God. And he says in Dutch and he goes, his ass was in your face. It was amazing. It was so funny. I'm like, yep. I played 5 minutes on the pitch, but I remember Edgar Davids' ass perfect.
Wow, wow. Why Spurs? Why no Arsenal? Why no Manchester United?
I ask myself that every match day this season. You know what? The truth is, and this is not because I'm talking to you. Yeah. So again, we couldn't get the games over. I was very blessed to have a career that was flourishing in the U.S. and had just come over to the U.K. I really fell in love with the game again right after the World Cup 2010 because that was the first time I had access to not only the World Cup, but I could follow the players I liked into their club career. We couldn't really see the games, and the few that I could see were, I loved Manchester United. And so I had started following United up front. I realized that every American, and I hadn't really sort of declared a team yet, every American really supported United, Chelsea, Arsenal, or Liverpool. And I guess I just wanted to do something different. And so, yeah, so I had asked my followers, and I got thousands of responses on Twitter. I saw this thing, 100 Goals at the Lane, and it was kind of interesting. And then I saw the Taxi for Mycon game versus Inter, and I saw Gareth Bale like drag Mycon up and down the pitch.
Mycon is my friend.
Is he? Oh man, I'm psyched he's your friend, but that day I felt so bad for him.
Me too, and Mycon is a good as well right back.
Really good right back. Yeah. And then I saw Bale re-signed his contract, and he did that thing that I'm sure you had to do. All the agents, you're doing keepy-uppy in front of like a random building, and he did that, and I was like, kind of gay for Gareth for a while. I was like, he was just amazing. These crosses coming in from the left foot. And I loved it. And I loved Van der Vaart. I loved the passion that he played with. And again, the first strikers that I saw were Crouch, Pavlyuchenko, was Lennon on one wing and Bale on the other. And he and Benny Akoto were usually changing places. And again, as an American, seeing Brad Friedel play, it was really big for me. So so it was that. And I guess I liked the fact that they weren't financially where the bigger clubs were, so that it had to be made through the academy and clever trades. And I liked the motto of to dare is to do. I thought that's a really great way to go through life. And so so that was it.
And what was your reaction, your feeling, your emotion for the first day you went to White Hart Lane?
Oh my God. It's actually on YouTube. I got a tour late at night, and the first time I saw the pitch, I cried.
You cried?
I cried. I didn't expect to, and it's not like manufactured. You know, you live the dream, but I think for anyone who's played FIFA or like me plays a weekend game, you imagine that run out and suddenly it was like quiet as a graveyard, and it was nighttime, and the lights were on, and the pitch was so green, and it was so quiet. And then realizing, Arsenal has since moved from Highbury to the Emirates. Main Road has given way to the Etihad, and yet White Hart Lane is White Hart Lane. And I'm there, and there's the shelf side, and there's the Cockerel itself, and I'm looking down and going, that's where Kyle Walker scored his first goal in Blue Kisses to his mom. That is where Klinsmann did the famous dive. And it was just so exciting to me. So I saw that. Now flash forward to the first game, was the North London Derby, and my friend Clint Dempsey was playing for Tottenham. And he got his tickets, and it was at the Emirates. We lost 5-2, and I remember Podolski was going up. They were trading Podolski from Bayern Munich. And I was like, please, let's get him. No, we didn't. We got Dempsey, and Dempsey and Pogrebniak played in a line. I was like, let's get them both. We didn't get them both. And then Giroud, Podolski went off, and that was when Santi Cazorla really came to shine, and Miguel Arteta had a beautiful game. After every Spurs loss, and sadly I've been to a few, I was at the 2-2 draw with Chelsea when we handed the league to Leicester. I was there, which was heartbreaking. I go to my favorite fish and chip shop in London. It's called Seashell of Lisson Grove in Marylebone. And I literally, every time, I'm just like, why does he wait so long for substitutes? Why doesn't Poch put Mora in sooner? They should use Eric Dyer as a stopgap if Wanyama isn't healthy. When Yama can't move box to box.
But why you get into football? Why?
I grew up in Brooklyn, and I always tell people there's like the really cool Brooklyn now, like where there's like Tom's shoes and dope trainer drops and this skate brand and this streetwear brand. Then there was the Brooklyn with like Jackie Robinson and trolley cars, and that's one Brooklyn. I grew up in the middle where it wasn't a cool place to be from, and my folks were divorced, so we didn't have a lot of money, and we lived in a very immigrant-rich neighborhood. And what was amazing was you'd go to the same exact park, and there would be men from Jamaica and from Haiti playing cricket, and then you'd have, teams playing football, and my team was coached by a Polish guy. We had an Israeli striker, an Ecuadorian striker, a midfielder from Russia. Like first generation immigrants, like the kids spoke better English than their parents did. But I guess I loved it for that reason, because it was almost like traveling every time I would go to practice. So they were the ones telling me about Juventus. They were the ones telling me about Manchester United. They were the ones telling me about, PSG, whoever. I'm like, you're going, oh, all right, there is a world beyond the World Cup, because that's all we would get. Sometimes the tribal aspect of football brings out things that are ugly, that are not part of the beautiful game. And I think I may support Tottenham, I may be American, but there's no way I could watch like when the teams that you've been on with the complete nature of the team. Forget about the Champions League winning team, but just the way the team moved as a unit, and if you can distance yourself from the petty tribalness and love the game, then I can go, Patrice Evra is a brilliant fullback, no matter if he's wearing a red shirt, a white shirt, or a blue shirt. And I think that's the thing I love about the game now. And I've been blessed in Africa, where I know his hometown, in South Africa, in Maboneng, in Johannesburg. There are a bunch of kids having a kickabout, and I don't speak Zulu, I don't speak Unkosa, and I just went like this. And the kid tries to pan at me, and I dropped it to my best Patrice Evra, like I stopped the ball. And then, we had a little bit of a kickabout and did a little bit of magia back and forth and step overs here and there and a little bit of a heel tap, whatever. And then to be in like Lujan de Cuyo and Tupungato in Argentina and play with the kids that made a ball out of plastic bags and string. And it's not about, I've got the best equipment, I've got the nicest boots.
Adam, that's why I'm talking about, and that's why it's missing now during our days, is I don't see enough like kids playing on the street. You know why? Because the parents, when the kids are talented, straight away they want to put them in the best academy and everything. So that's why now you don't got like genius, like player like Ronaldinho. I think Messi and Cristiano will be the last like massive player and playing with their instinct. Because yeah, now when you go to the academy, the coach, they told you to play, pass the ball. When you want to do some skill or to dribble, they will say like you're selfish. But actually even me, I'm from the street, I didn't do any academy. So I was playing between cars and like you say, sometimes with a plastic ball or with anything. And I think this is really important, and that's, I think, my football from the street. And now the problem, the parents, they want their kids to be like straight away famous or earning some money. So they try to put them to the best academy, and I think it's completely wrong. I think like the kids, they have to play on the street. They have to enjoy and to play for the passion and for the love. You know, when I play for Manchester United or for Juventus, I play for the badge, for real. I play for the fan. And now people, they don't play for the badge anymore. They play, you know, it's too much ego. But before, like when you say about our team, for me, it was like a family. 2008, it was like real, like a family. That's why we were like, yeah, we were like so connected, you know. But now I can see the modern football, like just people, they don't do those things. Like everyone is with his mobile phone, you know. Everything changed. Now we are in the future, so it's different. But the example you give, like about seeing like kids on the street, like you will see now, you don't see that anymore. 2008, when we won the Champions League and the league, the double, Ferguson had his best speech ever. And you know what, before the game, he just take each character, like he talk about Wayne, he say like, imagine like how difficult it was for him to grow up in the street in Liverpool. Talk about Tevez in Argentina, you know, growing up in Argentina. And he talk about myself. So I don't know if you know, I've got like 24 brothers and sisters.
Yes.
And I remember we all get some goosebumps before the game, and we won against Chelsea in a penalty shutout. And your best friend Van der Sar saved like a great penalty. So yeah, this is really important. And now I think those days, all of this is missing.
Can I ask you a question? But who was like the one attacker that you were like, I got my hands full today?
You will laugh, like it's James Milner, because he's following me everywhere. And even he was good in the header, so playing against him, oh my God, after the game, I need to put some ice on my knee, and because he was like strong, and sometimes I was talking to him, I was like, when you going to attack? But actually he was like defending, coming with me down the line. People expect me to say like Cristiano Ronaldo or Messi, but no, the one who frustrated me at my game, he was like James Milner. So yeah, let's talk about also food, because actually, I know you know football better than myself, but
lies.
You know, no. To be fair, like you know, lot of things, and I'm really impressed. And you know, Man vs Food. Did you expect like so much success?
No.
Like, oh, it happened. Who got that idea? And it's just like amazing.
I was working in kitchens since I was about 12 years old, and I was also acting. And I went to Yale University School of Drama back in the States as an actor. Having a food television show blended the two passions of food and entertainment that I have. And so when the first opportunity came to do a food TV show through my agents, I launched myself at it. I auditioned and eventually got the show. And to me, I think, because they had wanted a competitive eater for the show. They wanted like one of those guys who does like the contest at Nathan's. But they ended up with me because I think they realized I love regional food. Like I love learning about, you know, that Marseille, you can learn bouillabaisse, and then you can go to Alsace-Lorraine or the Dordogne, and you get choucroute, and you can try radishes with butter, and then you can go to Paris, and in like le 8e arrondissement, you can have one type of dish on like Rue Oberkampf. I think that people, instead of seeing a chef, instead of just seeing a guy eating, they saw someone who could go, this is the taste of Pennsylvania. This is the taste of Florida. And like you said, you make it about your team, the glory will come back on you. So the more I made it about the chefs being talented and special, people appreciated me for doing that, but I never anticipated that kind of success. And you know, the best part about it is being able to take care of my mom. The absolute best part of my whole success is being able to do right by my mom.
I love to hear that.
She went without so that I could have my whole life. She made in Brooklyn we say, you know, she made chicken salad out of chicken shit, and she rubbed two nickels together to make $1 my whole life. And like for me to be able to pay off her bills or to buy her a car or take her, it's I mean,
To be fair, my first like big contract,
Yeah.
when I was playing for Monaco, I bought a house for her and for my dad, and this was my goal as well, to reward her, like, you know, to putting food in our plate when we were young. And I think my mom is being like my biggest like inspiration and motivation, because every time I was like, I need to succeed because of her. I need to help her pay her bill, you know, like buying a house. So that's why we got like many things in common.
My mom would work a full day and then she'd put on her sneakers and take me to the park, because my dad, you know, they were separated, and would kick around the ball with me and would throw the ball to me and like teach me how to bring it down with chest control. And it's my mom, like this sweet little Jewish lady, like doing like Rory DeLapp, like rah, and like trying to like do these things, and it was amazing. So that's been really cool, and being able to like meet people like you and.
So I've got like a big like brioche, and you know, we're gonna try to make some sandwich, and I hope you're gonna.
I'm sure it's amazing. Let's go do it.
Let's go.
Which bread should we choose?
This one is big. I will go for this one.
All right, I'll take the bloomer. This is actually a very good metaphor. You have like tall and lean Patrice Evra, and then Adam Richman. And ironically enough, I too am loaded with carbohydrates. So I'm Joey, I'm white. This is perfect.
Yeah, and I can see like now you're doing as well some menu for Copa 90. So
I am indeed. Yes, I'm hosting a show called Match Day Menus on Copa 90.
Menu, yeah.
What it is just a celebration of food and fan culture with the backdrop of football all over the world. So it's what fans eat the day before the match, day of, middle of, afterwards. And you know, someone said to me just today, show me a city, you know, show me their football culture, show me their food culture, and I'll understand the whole city. And the thing is, it really is the global game. And I consider myself to have an advantage over a lot of my fellow Americans because I speak football.
Exactly.
And I think a lot of people don't have that way in. And what's nice is a show like Matchday Menus, if you don't know football, stick around for the food. You might like it, you might not. If you like football, boom, we got that for you too.
Yeah.
There's that beautiful line of whether it's seeing a Libertadores Cup qualifier match in Ciudad Lanús in Argentina, where guys are grilling on pieces of stolen fence and making choripan, and then going to these beautiful restaurants that they have inside some of the stadium, you know, the different grounds, and trying exquisite dishes. Where did you eat? What was your on your match day menu? Like, what did you eat the night before a match when you would compete?
It depends. Like when I was in Manchester, to be fair, it was like plain pasta. Sometimes I put like some tomato sauce. I will eat it with ham or plain chicken. But when you're in Italy, when I was Juventus, it's completely different. You don't have the choice.
What was in
they
Juventus?
serve you the food, like, and sometimes they don't want you to have even like bread. They will give you like some prosciutto, some bresaola. They didn't even want us to have like the sparkling water, to tell you, like,
no carbonated.
Only still water. But so it was like really strict. That's why for me, like playing for Juventus 2 years and a half, it was one of my biggest achievement psychologically, because I just feel like even in Manchester United, I play for 9 years and win every trophy. But playing for Juventus was like a biggest challenge in my life, because they're really strict and about the diet, and it's really important. They weigh you like every morning.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why Suarez bit Chiellini, because he was just so tasty, but he was also just so hungry. He was just like, oh, Chiellini, your shoulder tastes so much like prosciutto, but I'm so hungry. Let's cook. Okay, so here's your thing. He's got his bolognese abilities ready. I'm going to try to do what I can. I understand that this is called a bloomer, what I'm working with here. All right. I'm going to take this out. We don't need that.
You don't like that?
I do like it, but I'm actually going to do something a little interesting, I think. Is there any olive oil? Do we have olive oil?
They don't have. They have
Yes.
nothing.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well
this
done.
is just for me to drink, not for the same. I'm just kidding. All right, so I'll try to do a little bit of a thing with this bread right here. Try to turn it up a little bit.
Where have you been?
Where have we been? So we filmed in Montreal
Yeah.
with the MLS team, the Montreal Impact. They say l'Impact de Montréal.
Oui, oui.
We also filmed We did a double episode between Juarez, Mexico, and El Paso, Texas. We filmed in Los Angeles with LAFC, in Napoli. Just so them, we saw Eintracht beat Bayern Munich in a legendary game. That's something that you're probably not likely to see anytime soon, is Eintracht Frankfurt beating Bayern Munich. Wow, that chicken is farty. That is.
And I love mayo.
Yes, that is the most farty Sainsbury. They seal every chicken with just a little chef's kiss.
Just plain copa. They go.
There you go. Just that's that little Sainsbury's touch that you just can't. Okay.
Just kill Sainsbury anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I just lost my Sainsbury's deal. Oh well, shit. But Tesco's chicken is delicious. I'm a big fan of that Asda truffles. All right, so I'm gonna put a little bit of sriracha with
spicy,
that. Yeah, I'm gonna go spicy mayo. Okay, so we're gonna do something creamy, something spicy. So we have a little bit of a French term, the velouté. So you actually have something to kind of transport flavor. So what we'll do is we'll mix a little bit of sriracha, a little bit of mayo. So let's put the bread, no turkey.
No turkey.
No turkey yet. Let's just grill our bread first. Put it on the bottom there. I open it up. Yep, let's let it get toasted. Camera people, don't let us forget about that. Okay, so we have that. I'm gonna make it a sweet and spicy mayo. So we're gonna add a little bit of honey, not too much, and incorporate that in to kind of counteract that spice. The nice thing is if you make a condiment with enough flavor, you don't have to add that many calories, you don't have to add that much spice. So if you just try a little bit. À votre avis, c'est bien?
Très bon. Délicieux.
See? Beautiful. So we have that. We're going to let that bread toast a little bit more. Do you tend to go for more creamy sauces on a sandwich? Do you like more simple vinegar-based sauces on a sandwich?
I go for the cream.
Creamy stuff? Cool. I'm just looking to see what else they've got.
Proper food today.
I'm going to overlay some of the meat right here. And we're going to make it into kind of like a giant meat cake. And so we'll overlay some of it. We'll take some of the chicken. Lay some strips of that in there.
Let me taste the Sainsbury show.
Please, please, yes, of course. Everyone, Sainsbury, the first word in Latin meats. And we have some bacon because this one's going to be kosher. Is there anything you don't like to eat? Like, is there like something you're like, I'll never try that again, or I don't like that?
Oh my God, the jelly eels.
Oh, jellied eels. Oh, that's rough.
That's what's this.
When was that when you went to West Ham? Was that like when you had to try
that
it?
chef, like he said, the specialty of like West Ham fan, the jelly. I don't know what they call it. I just like even look at it and nearly vomited. So it was like disgusting.
Oh yeah, jellied eels is when I hit that bit of bone in the middle. I was like, and we're done here, and we are done here. Okay, so I'm gonna put some of the cheese here in the middle.
You know what? Yeah, we'll put this one.
There you go. Get in there like swimwear. So we have, this is some mozzarella. Then I'm gonna lay some bacon on top of that. And then I'm gonna put, I saw there was that some turkey. We'll put some turkey there.
I already put the turkey.
Perfect. Now I had seen this done in one of the sandwich places. And even when we've done match day menus, you'll see some places where they'll prepare the filling separate from the actual meat. So I don't see a spatula, so this could go very, very badly, but I'm gonna lay this in the pan. We'll just use my bread and we'll stuff it. So then what we're gonna do is take our sriracha honey mayo, we'll drizzle it on the bottom here of the grilled bread. Put a little bit here. So it's sweet, it's spicy, a little bit creamy. Normally, if we had any kind of crispy vegetables, this is where we might layer them in, but we don't, so we're gonna do a little bit with avocado again, just so we have some color. It's gonna echo that creaminess, but I'm gonna do that on the top half of the bread.
It look great, guys. Don't be jealous.
So I'm gonna do that on the top, and then usually with avocado, you wanna season it with something. So if there's any kind of salt, I don't know if we have any up here, I think we do, that's pepper, salt. So avocado is a pretty inert flavor. You just need a little bit of salt to kind of wake it up. I don't even know if, I'm just kind of making a gesture. There's no salt in here, is there?
But to be fair, Adam, who teach you cooking? Like, is your mom? Where did you learn?
I started learning from my mom and my aunt, and then I started working in kitchens when I was a teenager. I remember I wanted a specific toy, and my dad's like, "Oh, that's nice to want things," and I was like, "Yeah, but like I want you to buy this shit for me." And he said, "No, we live in a pretty well-populated area of Brooklyn. Why don't you get out there and get a damn job and get your own stuff?" And the one place that would hire a kid was a restaurant, and I loved. Again, coming from like a largely immigrant area in Brooklyn, being able to learn cuisine was another way of learning the culture. Okay. So I had Syrian friends, but I really began to learn who they were and meet them truly through food, because I'd eat at their house. My friends across the street were Sicilian. Their grandmother made caponata, fresh, like with melanzane.
My first team was in Sicily. I played in Sicily, Marsala.
Marsala, I love that. I was laughing how that your CV reads like a wine list, because you have Marseille, you have Marsala. It's just incredible. It's like he is like the March of the Marseillaise.
So guys, if you're hearing some noise, it's just the oven noise.
Excellent. So what this is also doing is rendering out some of the fat in the meat. So it's actually going to crisp up the meat, but it's going to melt it all together, and I'm going to actually layer it in there. But first, we're going to chiffonade some of the coriander. So we'll just like get it all together.
If I do this, I will cut my finger. But what I love about you, Adam, is your passion.
Thank
your
you.
Love, and this is really important. I always say, like, everything I do, like I do it with my heart. And when you do things with your heart, you do amazing things.
And when it comes to food, I love this game. So we're going to do a cilantro mayo, but what it's going to also do is with that pork on the top half of the bun and the avocado, it's going to make a consistency similar to guacamole. We don't have the citrus to break it down, but again, we're going to put something cold on one side and all that hot stuff in the middle. By the way, I will say this, we filmed in Naples, and I could not believe how good the tomatoes were. That, everyone's always going to talk pizza and pasta and this. Just the quality of the tomatoes was exceptional.
Fresh, yeah.
So now we're going to do this, and we lay it right on while it's melted. And the heat of the sandwich, you see it's already melting under it, but we let the crispy part go on top. We'll do this. Take that little bit out of the bottom, so you can pull out the leaves more easily. Get some of the crunchier ones. Just layer it in here. So you have a little bit of crunch, something so it's like fresh on one half, savory and sweet on the other. Okay. So then in the middle, it's kind of be a contrast. So that's why most of the stuff on the top is all cold. Everything on the bottom has been cooked or is spicy. All right, so this is kind of in the place of relish. So we'll do some pickles, so it'll cut through the sour. We have that. And then I'm just gonna add one more little hit of spiciness. I don't wanna go too far with it. They just call it crushed chili here. So I'm just gonna add a little bit. We don't wanna overdo it, because there's enough spice in the meat.
That's going to be a big poo-poo.
Now, normally, if it weren't like already so rich, I might do stuff like adding in the crisps. Yeah. But I'm going to keep it like this. Now, this is meant to be a party sandwich. That's why I hollow it out. So you do it like this, and then you can actually toast it again. But what makes it so cool is when you cut in, it's actually a stuffed sandwich. Wow. You can save it, and it can be cut and shared.
Oh my God, can you?
With a bunch of people.
Oh my God.
By the way, everyone who's like, ew, that looks gross. Everyone behind the camera is like, yeah. That's sexy right there. That is the sandwich equivalent of Mylene Klass in a white bikini under a waterfall.
I can't wait, Adam. But Adam, I just would like to say a massive thanks. But I really genuinely think like you are like a great human being.
Thank you,
with
man.
a lot of energy.
Thank you, man.
You make me laugh a lot today. But apart from that, seriously, that's why I love this game, and to meeting like people like you, like it's being an honor. So thank you very much. I really, really, really appreciate it.
The honor.
Thank you very much.
Honor is entirely mine. Thank you for, and I have to say for every American that like came to love the game, and you were such a major part of that for me personally, you and the teams that you were part of. I mean, you don't understand how many times I have controlled you on FIFA. And
I know you control me in the kitchen.
he's not controllable. He is not controllable at all. But that's the thing. It really is just such an honor. And the thing that you celebrate, the sort of joie de vivre, of life, of love, of love of the game, of love of the big game, le grand jeu.
Exactly, le grand jeu, ouais.
And I think that that's the best part. And so for me, I celebrate what you two are celebrating. And because it is about team and it is about family, we're going to now share this gigantic sandwich with the entire crew, and we'll all make big poo-poos.
Yeah, but I will like the first bite. I need like the first
Mais
bite.
bien sûr, mon chef.
I need the first bite.
Mais bien sûr, mon
I'm
chef.
being selfish, guys. Sorry.
No, pas de
We're
problème.
working together, so.
Of course.
I'm jealous, guys.
Wait a minute. I'm actually giving an assist to Patrice Evra. Here we go.
Thank you. And what a goal! Look at that goal! Look.
Come on.
Oh man! Yeah, lick my finger. Wow.
Well,
Wow.
all right.
Wow.
I love this game.